Hi, I'm New.
And I'm Malice.
And welcome back to our channel, the niw&malice channel.
Because new and Malice. Get it? niw&malice.
Not that old school malice, the new stuff. So today we're sitting down and making a video because it's been 1 year of this nonsense. Which really snuck up on us. One of our friends messaged us in a group chat. Was like, congratulations for your 1 year anniversary. And I was like,
wait, what? Excuse me, what?
So I've gathered some questions from friends and family for a little Q&A. I don't know if anyone's interested in what we have to say about our channel, but here we are anyway.
Yeah. If you clicked on it, then you're in for the ride. Yeah. Buckle up.
You did this to yourself.
Yeah. No one to blame but yourself.
Nobody made you be here. Okay, so I wrote down some questions and I asked our friends for some questions. I'm just going to be interviewing Malice and I will jump in with my own answers, I guess.
Sounds good.
Okay, so, alright, question number 1. Which video did you have the most fun filming?
Probably when we filmed the lace gas mask reveal. Mostly because we got to, like, keep an eye on the other people who were at the cafe and see if they noticed, and if they did, what kind of reaction they were going to have.
Yeah.
And also, as we know, Zell has a high aptitude for creepy poses and
she also just
creepy
doesn't
action.
give a shit.
Yeah.
She openly does not care.
Does not care who is watching and what they think of it.
My favorite one to film might actually have been the lace gas mask. Because that was a lot of fun. And it was also, like, late enough in the channel that we'd sort of hit our stride a little bit and knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
You know, like, early on, so many of our reveal shots was just like, oh, what's happening?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good enough, I guess.
Yeah.
Which video as a final product are you the most proud of?
Probably the To All the Boys Soul Tour.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as you can probably guess from the footage, although I was really surprised by how short the video ended up being, considering how much time it took to film, like 3 whole days of going around Seoul, I think it edited down into a really nice video. And I think I really got a hang of scripting the voiceover without it sounding scripted. Because especially with that kind of stuff where there was so much going on, it was really important for me to have my thoughts organized. What about you?
I'm, like, really proud of the first video I ever edited.
Yeah.
That was the LED rhinestone Taeyong mask. And I think I just like how the oh, that would have been my answer for the most fun to film, though. Because we had a lot of fun filming that one, too.
Yeah.
Again, it was Zell wearing a creepy mask.
Yeah. She really shines.
That's her, like, niche talent. Give her a creepy mask and she'll nail some really good reveal footage for you. But, it's like, I think if I edited that video together again, I could do a much better job of it. But that was literally the first thing I've ever edited in my life.
Yeah. And there's always room for improvement.
Exactly, yeah. And so I'm, like, really proud of how it came out, considering. And I also spent weeks and weeks and weeks on it. Because I finished the whole video just doing subtitles without a voiceover. And then I showed it to a bunch of friends and family. Everyone was like, oh, you're not doing a voiceover? And that was the reaction I got over and over and over again. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess I need to do voiceover. And it was something I was really scared to do for some reason. But then once I got in there and did it, I was like, yeah, this is fine. I can do this.
Yeah.
But it was, like, really scary to me for some reason before I started doing it.
Yeah, I was just looking through the videos. I think also I'm really proud of the way the Lucky Charms bracelet came out. Probably because I actually had the idea for doing that for, like, 10 years or something. But I just, like, never really had the opportunity or the excuse to do it. And I never really worked with clay before, so I'm really proud of being able to make the clay from scratch and create something that actually looked a lot like the actual Lucky Charms cereal.
It's always really nice when you could take something off your, like, list.
Yeah. It's kind of my goal. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about this yet, but my goal for this year is to do the things that I don't really have a good reason to do. I guess. Like, I always end up doing the projects that are very practical and things that I can wear in daily life. And I think there's definitely room for that. And you can definitely justify spending more money on stuff like that or spending more time on it because you're actually going to get a lot of use out of it. But I kind of find myself in these positions where I'm like, oh, I want to wear something nice for this video or to go to this place. And I just, like, have nothing because so often I say, well, where am I going to wear that?
You're definitely the more practical of the two of us. I'm like, I'm never gonna wear a rhinestone mask, but I'm gonna make it anyway.
Yeah.
I have so many creepy masks like mounted on the wall in my apartment. I feel like if my landlady ever came in, she'd be like,
I mean, home decor is a good enough reason, I feel like.
That's not their intention, that's just where they ended up. Okay, what's your favorite thing you've made for the channel? Like the final
product?
Not the video, the crafted item.
I would say either the pizza beret or actually the pajamas that I made for your slumber party.
Yeah, that came out really well.
Yeah, I think that one, especially because kind of the theme of the video was I am not doing this correctly, and let's see how correct it can look when it's finished, because I started out with not enough material, not enough time, not a really good idea of how I was actually going to accomplish it. And a lot of the video was just like problem solving. Like, okay, well, I don't have enough material to do this. How can I fix it? And I think they came out really well, and I have actually worn them. And I don't think that most people would know that it was handmade unless you pointed it out, which is always nice.
And also the thing with pajamas is like they can so easily just be like leggings and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And you went with like a tailored like pin tuck. Yeah. Like, you know, I dropped my coffee. You know, button up pajama top. So, you know, it was like pretty extra given the time constraints and the material constraints.
Yeah. What about you?
I kind of really like the bead hole to necklaces stuff because I made a lot of dangly rainbow necklaces, and I like wearing them at work because I usually just wear like a sweatshirt or a shirt or something easy, and having necklaces to just kind of throw on. It's probably the thing that I definitely have used the most out of all the stuff that I've made on the channel.
Yeah. Considering
so much of it is like masks and creepy dolls and crocheted outfits for tiny whatever animals.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but for me, doing like jewelry videos are a lot less stressful than trying to make clothing videos. Partially because of the filming aspect. Like, definitely filming your hands is a lot easier than trying to like film me crouched over some fabric in my tiny little room.
Yeah, floor gremlin.
Yeah, like a floor troll. And also, it's really easy to finish a piece of jewelry in one sitting.
Exactly. You end up with a finished product fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Happy experience. Filming is easy. Editing is not too bad.
Yeah, exactly.
I get to finish the project kind of quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually really like, I haven't worn them, but I really like the berets that I made inspired by Shinies Don't Call Me. I really like how those came out, and I think they look good. There's some, like, fit issues with them, because it was, like, making a beret from scratch using stuff that was lying around my apartment. Yeah. But, you know, it's pretty good considering.
Yeah, they came out pretty well.
And also, like, I made little, like, like, little sort of, like, army-inspired badges in that video to go on Key's hat. And I think that concept is really cool and could be, like, expanded on. And I think I've learnt stuff since then that I could do a better job of. I mean, that's the thing with half the videos I've done. I'm like, oh, I could do this again, but better. Like, yeah. Have you scrapped a video just because it wasn't working out?
I don't think I've done any serious work on a video and then scrapped it. I have had some projects that I've thought, oh, I should make a video for this. And then either I just, like, wasn't in the mood to do filming, or I tried to start filming it and I was like, this is just gonna become impossible if I try to film this and do it at the same time. Because I feel like with a lot of crafting things, it takes so much energy to gather the materials and to, you know, clean up your workspace in advance and to get all your designs down on paper or, you know, ironed out in whatever way. And sometimes it's just like I have, this much energy and I know that it's going to take more than that to try to film it. So I just go ahead with the project without doing it. I had an idea to do some Christmas decorations in a video. And I did actually do a little bit of filming for it, but then I don't know, it's just like I didn't like the stuff that I had made, and I kind of just wanted to do it on my own time and not have to worry so much about how it looked while I was doing it.
Yeah, I like a lot of the time I'll start working on something and I'm just doing it for the joy of crafting. So I don't want to film it. It's too hard, and I just make stuff off camera sometimes. And I mean that's part of like we're making a channel about our hobby.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, it just needs to be my hobby.
Yeah, I think, trying to film certain aspects of crafting is very hard, especially when I don't want to necessarily, I'm doing it on my off time. I don't necessarily want to like put on a full face of makeup and wear some flattering clothing to like crawl around on my floor. Like sometimes I just want to like, have dirty hair and have my unflattering glasses and, sweats on. And I know some creators like film themselves doing that, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, because we both talked about how we like really like Rachel Baxi.
Yeah.
And she like looks beautiful at the beginning and end of her videos. I mean, she looks beautiful all the time, but she like does her makeup and has like a beautiful outfit on, and then halfway through the video, she's like crawling on the floor.
Yeah,
and, like...
she switches to sweats, and like I definitely have a lot of respect for that.
Respect that big time.
I guess I'm just like not at the place in my YouTube career where I want to put myself in my most devolved state on the internet.
The thing is, like, we've been friends for like 5 or 6 years now, and I still don't see you without makeup very often.
I mean, you see me without makeup when I'm at home.
Yeah, but sometimes I come over and you're wearing makeup there.
Sometimes, but I don't ever put on makeup for you, which is like sounds like it's a dig, but it's actually a compliment. I'm never like, oh no, Niw is coming over. I must powder my nose.
I need to put on my face before she sees my true lizard under skin.
Yeah, no. You get to see lizard and all, baby. My living space is, my living space. I don't have a separate living and crafting space. So sometimes I'll have an idea, like, oh, I should film this, and then I'm just like, let's not. Yeah. And then I don't.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have the energy to clean my room and then film the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, prepare all the stuff, and yeah.
It makes you, like, really appreciate why so many YouTubers are like, we've expanded, so now we're gonna go and get our own studio. And it's like, I 100% understand that now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like having, like, a dedicated workspace where it's like, oh, it's work time, and you go there, and it's, like, set up and ready to go.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, have I scrapped a video because it wasn't working out? Yeah, I have. I don't really remember which ones. But there's definitely stuff I filmed and then be like, oh, this is not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But more than that, I scrapped a lot of videos without wanting to because I lost that hard drive.
Yeah.
And I had like completed videos in terms of all of the footage had been finished. It just needed to be edited. And some of those projects I was, like, really excited about and really passionate about, so it, like, gutted me.
Yeah.
I lost all of that. I can laugh about it now.
I mean, that's pretty devastating as a creator to lose your creation.
Right? I had that bag. It was, like, a plastic see-through bag covered in stickers. It's one of the most batshit things I've ever made, and I was so proud of it, and everything's gone. The tutorial that you will never see.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
The lost tutorial.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. Is there a video you would like to remake if you were ever possessed with the energy to do so? I already have an answer for this one. I would 100% from beginning to end remake that. I just finished saying that I was proud of this video, but I would remake the Taeyong LED rhinestone video from start to finish. Just because, like I said, it was my first video, and I feel like I could... It'd be so interesting to see them side by side. Mm-hmm. Like, the first video, and then you, like, remake it a year later, and then you remake it another year later, and then you make it... It's probably a matter of distance. Like, once you've had distance from the project, then your emotions have disengaged. You can go back to it.
And you're like, yeah, no, I should have done that. For me, I would say probably the jack-o'-lantern sweatshirt. And some of that is not my fault. I think it would have been a lot easier if I had access to American crafting tools. I don't know how often we talk about this, but I feel like there's so often that you kind of like have an idea for a project and you look up how other people have done it. And they're like, oh, it's really easy if you just get like this product from this brand down at Michael's.
Right, we can't just walk into Joann's or Michael's or Spotlight or whatever. We have to like order it online or try and figure out what it's called in Korean.
Exactly. Trying to figure out what crafting things are called in Korean is incredibly hard.
It's so counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, surely this thing is called this. No, it's not.
Yeah. And also sometimes asking Korean people is not actually helpful. There have been plenty of times where I've like asked my Korean coworkers, hey, what's this in Korean? They're like, I don't know, because they're not crafters.
Right, it's a niche crafting item.
Exactly. But I feel like with the pumpkin sweatshirt, if I had like that product that you can put it on the back of something and make it into like an iron-on.
Like a fusible interfacing.
That would have saved me so much work. And also, if I had been able to get different shades of felt, I think it would have looked a lot better. But because not having those products, like price per wear, I think that with crafting, it's like time
and effort per wear.
Something, yeah. So I think sometimes with craft projects, you kind of have to cut yourself off. Because, like, you could spend an infinite amount of time on any given craft project.
Okay, what made you want to start the channel?
Well, we've been talking about it for a while. And every time that we would finish something and, like, show photos of it in the group chat, our friends would be like, oh, you guys should start a channel. But I think the thing that I really enjoy about it is that it gives me an excuse to do things that I normally would either put off or not do at all. It gives me a reason to get better at things because other people are going to be looking at and judging my work. And it gives me an excuse to kind of like switch it up, to keep things fresh, to use different skills and build up our skill set in terms of crafting. To not always kind of like do the same kind of stuff. I think a lot of times when you sew your own clothes, there's a tendency to kind of make the same kind of thing over and over again, which is definitely good. And it's, you know that you like it and will use it, but it's also good to be adventurous when it comes to crafting and sewing.
I mean, I have a lot of reasons. I'm more interested in the tech side of things. I like the idea of getting good at editing and filming and doing that kind of stuff. It's like another creative outlet, I guess. Yeah. But I also, people have like knitting groups and like quilting groups, and it's like people who like share the same sort of hobby that they do. It's like I don't think many people really kind of understand how much time and effort goes into things, and so I think the idea of sharing it with people who are also really interested in what we're doing is really appealing to me. Like building a community of people who are just like really excited to see what you're making and interact with you about it. And, I like the kick of people being like, wow, that's really pretty, or wow, you did a good job, or wow. And so by putting it on YouTube, I'm expanding the pool of people that I can hear that kind of stuff from.
So basically what you're saying is you have a praise kink.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Pet my hair and tell me I'm pretty. No, it's more like, I like people admiring things that I put a lot of hard work into, and I'm not ashamed of that.
I mean, no, and as you should not be.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely, when you're talking to people who don't craft, sometimes I will do something that took like 5 seconds, and people will like fall on their knees with praise, and other times I'll spend like months on something and they'll be like, oh yeah, that's cool, because they have absolutely no idea how much work it took.
Crochet is hugely like that.
Yeah.
Crochet and knitting, it takes like hours and hours and hours.
I think that's probably what goes into the sweater curse,
right? Yeah, if you like what is it? If you ever knit somebody a sweater, then you've like doomed your relationship or
Yeah.
something.
And it's probably because you spend like hours and so much money. I feel like people who don't knit or crochet have absolutely no idea how much money it costs to knit something.
So much more expensive to knit a scarf or crochet a scarf than it is to buy one.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's definitely like, you know, better in terms of waste and that kind of stuff, but for sure it takes a lot of work.
Where do you get your crafting inspiration from?
You know, we're both into K-pop, and definitely there's a lot of really interesting things in terms of fashion going on in the K-pop world. And there always has been. There probably, I hope, always will be. And I think there's like a tendency to like look at something and be like, oh, that's cool. I would have done it like this. And I guess being able to like look at something and being like, well, that's not perfect. That's not exactly how I would want it to be, and like making it exactly how you want it to be. And also like watching other YouTubers. We both watch a lot of like creator YouTubers, and like seeing their passion and seeing them be able to turn like, you know, a length of fabric or, you know, a piece of plastic or whatever and turn into something amazing is a huge source of inspiration for me, because that's what I really enjoy about creating things, is turning like useless things into something that's useful or beautiful.
Yeah, a really good example of that is Studson Studios, who recently turned just a pile of objectively speaking absolute shit. Like just like used plastic rice bowls and all sorts of insane stuff into the Howl's Moving Castle diorama. That video is an hour long, and I've watched it from beginning to end in complete rapture at least 3 times. It's just I love stuff like that. But like I've always I think Malice is the same, but I've always been making stuff.
Yeah.
And I like, my brain never stops. And I need something for my hands and my brain to be doing it at the same time. Otherwise, I think I would have driven myself absolutely like out the window mental by now.
Yeah.
So it's like a hobby and a coping strategy and like also, you know, a way to communicate with other people, I guess.
Like being able to like make something yourself that you really enjoy and like wearing it into a public space and having someone be like, oh, I really like your blah 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 blah, and being able to say like, oh, thanks, I made this,
right?
is like so satisfying. I mean, I think, you know, this might be getting too deep, but I think, you know, the thing with creating something is it's like, you know, you get to like leave a mark on the world. You know, something beautiful exists in the world that wouldn't have existed if you weren't here and weren't making things. You know, your act of creation has made a measurable impact on the world, which is like, you know, I think a lot of people get that from like having kids and stuff, but because that's not our life path, it's another way of doing that.
I really like the idea of like, you know, say crocheting a blanket. And, you know, like I crocheted a blanket that's sitting on Zell's bed, and I like the idea that like one day that might end up in a thrift shop somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, like if it survives us, like maybe it's gonna end up in a thrift shop someday and somebody's gonna like buy it and just have no idea about like us or how it came to be, but it's gonna be sitting on their bed. What is your dream project as of right now?
Currently, I have a few like, you know, chiffon and tulle dresses and kind of that kind of avenue. So the one that is probably most of the forefront of my brain is the mint tulle dress that Laura Jean wears in the last part of the second movie. And if you've seen that movie series, I know Niw has not.
No.
This is not her. Rom-coms are definitely not her bag.
I hate romance movies.
But I know a lot of people have. Actually, I finished the first part. Part 2 is coming. And the last part will be the mint dress. I feel like it deserves its own
video.
What was the question again?
What is your dream project?
Dream project, yeah. So my goal is to get that done early this year, because it's a lot of like firsts for me, and I think I'll need to kind of beef up on some sewing skills in order to do it correctly. So I hope that I like how it turns out. And I'm going to need to be changing the design a little bit to more suit my body type. So, yeah, that's my current dream project.
You have to change it to suit somebody with tatas.
Indeed. And yourself?
I have this crazy idea of doing kind of half finished in my brain. I really want to make a series of stage outfits for if Malice, Zell, and myself were in a K-pop girl group. Like, none of us have any talent whatsoever in singing or dancing that I know of. Mm-hmm. Maybe we have an undiscovered talent, but no. we've been to karaoke together, so yeah. I'm not betting on it.
Yeah, no.
But I absolutely love stage costumes and stage outfits. I think in another life, I would have loved to have been like, you know, somebody who like made costumes for like K-pop groups or like Taylor Swift or I don't know, like famous
Lady Gaga.
Whatever. Oh my gosh, Lady Gaga. That'd be so great. Obviously that's not the path that my life has taken, but I don't see any reason why I can't just do it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. Yeah, I would love to make kind of like sets of outfits for the three of us. Because, you know, I'm plus size and Malice and Zell are of the tata'd variety of people. So, you know, I would like to make more stuff for people that look like us. And also, part of the great sad scrapping of videos that happened last year was that I made, and this is completely insane, this breaks my heart when I think about it, I made 3 dresses for my birthday for each of us to wear, and we filmed a bunch of footage of us wearing these dresses in an Airbnb that we rented, and I lost all of that footage. I don't even really have like full body pictures of any of us wearing the dresses because we took a lot of footage and
we got Polaroids.
We got Polaroids, that's it. We have like 3 shitty Polaroids. And this was like a month of my life. Yeah. Coming home every day and working on dresses. And I bought the cheapest, most terrible material on the internet because it was a budget. I didn't have a lot of money for materials and I was making 3 dresses. Malice's dress came out beautiful. I think probably the best of the 3. Zell really liked her dress, but I hate it. Like, as the creator, I was like, oh! Did she?
Yeah.
I mean, I hated it anyway, so bon voyage! Obviously, unfortunately lost the first part of that journey. Yeah. But it is a journey I wish to continue. My friend Daria asks, how did you come up with your logo?
That is mostly a question for niw.
Yeah, purple is for me, and we picked the orangey kind of color for Malice because at the time that was her hair color.
Yeah.
I'm a Cancer moon baby, and I like moons, so I got the moon, and moons and stars go together, so
yeah.
Malice inherited the star. And, you know, it's like, I guess I wanted to represent the fact that we're 2 separate people, and we kind of work separately on a lot of the stuff that we do.
Yeah.
We come together to do reveals a lot. Mm-hmm. That's kind of stuff that we end up collaborating the most on. We had all these like grand plans for like collaboration videos, but it always ends up being like me being like, hey, let's do this, and Malice is like, and then she's like, hey, let's do this, and I'm like,
Yeah, I think it's hard to kind of like match what you're passionate about. Like, I think each of us definitely have our own distinct ideas and style when it comes to crafting. I think we have a lot of similar interests, but we kind of go about them in different ways, so it's kind of hard to match those things. So I think it ends up working out a lot more like the sort of Easter spring video we did last year, where like I did a
hat,
like a hat, and you did a
flower crown,
circlet, and I think
that's going forward. We want to do more collab videos. At least I want to. But I think we need to, like, we're still kind of ironing the details out. Because at the moment, our work schedule is extremely different.
Yeah.
And our plans for the future involve us being a little bit more on the same sort of schedule and wavelength and in the same area.
Yeah.
So working together on stuff will become easier. But like right now, also, I'm off sleep for half of Malice's most productive hours in the day.
Yeah.
And she goes to bed right as I start gearing up to be productive.
Yeah, so it can be kind of tough. And also, we just don't have, both of us sort of have cramped little soul apartments. And it can be hard to find, like, a workspace where 2 full-grown adults and all of their crafting junk and their cats can kind of exist and be productive.
That's the thing is, like, filming in my apartment especially is so difficult because I have 3 cats and I'm not a particularly tidy person. I would like to be, but I'm not. And so it becomes like, you can film in exactly this spot, otherwise people will see your shame. Like, so we cannot film at my place ever. We can sometimes film here, but there's a cat and 3 people in the apartment at any point in time. And if we film in public, well, we can't because of Miss Rona.
Yeah.
That and also dragging all that craft supplies to like a cafe or something.
We would need to be really particular. And
also, like, today we had like a list of things we needed to get done. I needed to take passport photos, and we were like doctoring Zelle's bedroom.
Which sounds a lot less suspicious. Or it is a lot less suspicious than it sounds.
And then we also had to, well, we wanted to film this, and then obviously we've got to have lunch, and I got here at like just after 11, and then of course we sat here for 45 minutes being like, blah, 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 what coffee should we get, blah, 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 you know, like,
yeah.
We didn't actually get started on our to-do list until like well after I'd arrived.
Yeah.
We faff about a lot.
We do lollygag a bit.
We do have some ideas for like Harry Potter and like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It's a learning process.
Yeah.
We're both of the Harry Potter generation.
Indeed.
I'm a Cancer Slytherin.
And a Capricorn Ravenclaw over here.
That's the other thing I wanted to say. It's like we unintentionally made our channel a Capricorn or an Aquarius.
When did it start? A Capricorn. It must be Capricorn.
See, that's not a fate I would have chosen for our channel if I'd been thinking about it.
Hey. We get shit done.
Yeah,
in
but
theory.
We don't get shit done on this channel at all.
Yeah, but that's what we want, isn't it?
I mean, yeah. So the first video went up on, let me just find it, the 11th of January. So yeah, our channel's a Capricorn.
Well, there we go. Too late.
Too late.
Can't undo it.
Can't take it back. No take backsies. Well, I mean, at least it's not an Aquarius.
No offense to the Aquariuses out there.
Full offense. I'm a Cancer Aquarius, so I'm allowed to talk shit. Oh Lord. That's all of our questions. We're done. Is there anything that you would like to say to our current 165 subscribers, which, wow, when did that happen? I swear, we were like, wee, 100 subscribers! That was 3 months ago.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely picks up steam.
Yeah,
I'm
like, very pleasantly surprised. I was, like, really, I was already falling to that YouTube, like, fatality of thinking about subscribers too much.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last couple of months, I've really just, like, switched off. I'm like, yeah. People, if they like it, they'll subscribe. Good for them.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot more fun, and it's also been when the subscribe account is, like, picked up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I guess what I would have to say is, thank you for subscribing. I don't know why you are here. And
hey, none of that deprecating self-talk. We do amazing stuff over here.
Occasionally.
We might not be very good at packaging it yet, but we're getting there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very proud of the things that we've managed to get out there, and I'm mostly having fun. I mean, it's definitely work, but you know, I enjoy making things. I enjoy showing those things to people who might also be interested. And yeah, only up from here, I guess.
Me and Malice are the one who are filming this today, but Zelle is actually coming back from her vacation later this afternoon. And like if circumstance permitted, I would have had her with us while we were doing this.
Yeah.
But because she's been on vacation just to come back in quarantine, so we're not allowed to see each other for 10 days.
Yeah.
But I think one of the nice things about the channel and doing this is like we've had so much fun. Like there's been some real times where I've just been like lying on my bed crying because I lost footage, and I was just like, "This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me." Like it wasn't, but but there's like genuinely like when we were filming the LED moss video and the lace moss video, and even like the undisclosed video that is coming out soon that Malice and it's like frolicking in the freezing cold on the roof of this building while we like film stuff. It's fun, and it's like an activity that we've been able to do while we're not really supposed to be going out too much with like the Rona hanging around. And it's also a way that we've been able to include Zell into our crafting.
Yeah.
Because she's like always going on about like, I'm not a crafter, I can't make things, I'm not creative. But like, put a mask on her and she'll pose like a pro. She's great, which is not something neither me or Malice is particularly good at naturally. So she fills in that gap for us a little bit.
Exactly.
It ends up being a really natural marriage of talents that I was surprised and delighted to discover. So yeah, it's been a good year. We've gotten a lot of stress and pain out of it, but we've also gotten a lot of like joy and accomplishment and upskilling. So
indeed,
I'm mostly appreciative of it. Mostly. Like all things in life, once you get past a certain age, it's more complicated than you want it to be. But that's life, baby. Anyway, this is probably massively too long, and I'm gonna have a lot of editing to do. But if you made it to the end, thank you so much, and we will release you from our clutches.
Our group.
Hope everyone has a very good week and is taking care of themselves and staying healthy and sane as best they can in the current circumstances. And if you're subscribed, thank you so much. There's 165 people in this world who liked us enough to press a button.
Yeah.
Very
if you are not subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe now. Do it.
Maybe, if you feel like it.
No. I compel you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. You do like a really loud sound so it's obvious in the audio.